Hello, it's Jenkins here, the family law vlogger, and this is the next in the series of vlogs about pensions. Today's vlog is looking at the value of pensions and how best to get a valuation for the purposes of divorce. So one of the things that's very important in the financial disclosure process when you're getting divorced and thinking about the finances is to have all of your various assets valued and have an idea of what the value of those assets is. That includes pensions. So how do you go about getting your pension valued? Well, a good starting point is usually the transfer statement, the annual statement that you receive every year, which will set out the details of your pension. So it's very useful because it'll have the name of the pension company, it'll have the policy number, it'll have what's called the transfer value on that, and you should get that every year from your pension company. But that's only just a starting point when we're thinking about the value for divorce, because there is a specific type of actuarial calculation that the courts, and therefore in all sorts of other forums like mediation and collaborative process, require for the valuation of a pension. And that's a specific type called a cash equivalent transfer value, or a cash equivalent value, a CEV. Now, the reason for that is to make sure that all the valuations of all of the pensions that are being looked at have all been done on the same actuarial basis. So how do you actually get a CEV for your pension? Well, if you start with the annual statement that you've got, if you ring up, if it's a defined contribution scheme, something you've been contributing to over a period of time, if you ring up the details on the annual statement and say that you need a cash equivalent value for the purposes of divorce, then they should be able to send you that valuation in writing within probably a few weeks. So that's defined contribution schemes. What about defined benefit schemes such as NHS schemes, armed forces, police, those sorts of pensions? Well, again, if you ring up the relevant scheme and ask them for the cash equivalent value, they'll be able to do that calculation for you for divorce purposes. But a word of warning, at the moment, there's a lot of recalculation of the values of pensions generally going on for the defined benefit schemes, those public service schemes such as the NHS and the fire service and police, because of not a judgment relating to family law matters, but a judgment called MacLeod, which has led to a reassessment of the values of some of these schemes. And so for many of those public sector schemes, we're finding that it takes many months for cash equivalent values to be sent to clients. And in some cases, it's taking quite a long time and there's a pause on providing them. So the key thing with pension valuations, therefore, given that you're going to need them for any discussion in whatever forum, court, mediation, other ways of trying to sort things out, you're going to need that valuation, is at a very early stage, once you realise that you need to be starting to get this financial information together, is to make those phone calls, ask for the cash equivalent values and get that process underway. So that's how you value pensions. If you've got any queries about that, or if you've got any general questions about pensions or divorce, as always, please feel free to contact me or one of my amazing colleagues at the Mills Reeve Family and Children team, and the details will be in the bit below. Thank you.